Rock it. Rock the beat at least.
Hell no.
Rock the beat for a second, and I'll
No.
I'll put my hand up.
Nope.
All right, what's up? It's
What
Frequency
up?
Control Show. So,
What up, people?
NBA distractions. We're talking about your favorite thing to watch on TV can be a game changer for you in the wrong direction. So, if your favorite thing is to watch, Desperate Housewives or whatever it is you like to watch, and you have goals to achieve all these things that take your time, it's a distraction for you. You're gonna, remember your focus is your, reality. So, Will has some things to say about how the NBA has affected his progress.
So it's like, what up? So this is just how it's been. Like, they kind of lifted the restrictions a little bit. So I decided, well, I'm gonna head to the casino here, have a couple drinks, and just chill out, work on uh, this comic book I'm writing. Which is cool. Got a lot of work done. You know what I mean? But then I noticed, oh, it's the NBA playoffs. Didn't even know it was NBA playoffs because I was stuck in what I was doing, and uh, focusing on taking the right actions to continue the momentum towards what I'm trying to achieve. So went to a little casino to work because I like to get outside of my little home and be in a different type of atmosphere sometimes when I'm writing. But the whole point is, if through that I seen, oh my gosh, it's the NBA playoffs. So a couple days later, I went back because I wanted to watch one of the games and continue to work on some more writing, but I ended up watching the game longer. Then after that, I came home. It's like there's some work I need to get done for like the next day's marketing and stuff. So here I am up till 2 a.m. now, and still had to go to my job and was tired and just like, man, where did my time go? And I just kind of realized, like, man, I don't have any time to slip. I don't have any time to just be going and, even though I went there to do some writing and I did do that, but I could have gotten more done if I didn't actually go there and just would have just done the work from home. Because doing the work from home, that would have led me to go, okay, I'm kind of stuck with the writing. Let me go ahead and chop up this video right now because I need to get some of this stuff done to be posted for tomorrow, and so now I'm doing it up till 2 a.m. doing it. It's just like, gosh, it was just kind of I don't know, not even like a wake up call, it's just a realization like, man, I don't have I don't have any time to goof around here. You know, yes, it was cool to go work on my writing, but I could do that from home and maximize my time. And as soon as I'm kind of stuck in the writing or get bored with the writing, I can move on right into chopping up the things I need to do for the little marketing for the next day and not be up till 2 a.m. doing it. And it's just, I don't know, it was just kind of like, okay, you know, because before the restrictions and everything else, it was, I didn't even know it was the NBA playoffs because I'm in the zone of, uh, my new writing room and doing what I'm doing, creating uh, this story, and then I go and I feel bad for myself, because I'm like, you know what I mean? You know, I could have spent I could have spent my time better. And it's crucial time and it's a crucial time right now. My lease is up, and gonna be going month to month and I'm trying to go back home and stuff like that, you know. So I don't have room to be wasting the time, wasting the money also, right? You know what I mean? When I could be using that to towards marketing this stuff and things like that. So I was just kind of like, man, it was uh, it was a wake up call, chopping this video up at 2 a.m. Just realizing I I don't have time not to maximize my time. And I know, Robert could talk about this one all day because he's been on the grind, you know what I mean? And, you
It
know,
it's funny. It's the you don't realize this kind of stuff because Will wouldn't have realized this, 4 months ago. But the closer you get close to definite purpose, and once you identify that specific piece, you'll find yourself once you realize exactly what it is you're trying to do, and everything else that doesn't actually add to what it is you're trying to do, friends, family, whatever it happens to be, things to buy, you'll realize once you know what you want, you'll not want anything else but that thing that adds to that thing. For
and you'll notice
Yeah,
when you make
I want like the bar. Like I want to go to the bar and have a drink, man. It's starting to open up. I want to go, and it's like, man, I have a whole agenda for today to get somewhere where at a certain time in my life, and does that help me get there on that at that juncture and that time period where I'm trying to get? No, that doesn't help me get to where it was I was trying to go in that time period. So if I had a plan, all right, I'm going to get there by. It's like, for instance, think of it like this: you guys want to fly to New Hampshire for the weekend, and you're going to catch a plane, and you got it all figured out. We'll get up at 5 a.m. We'll get our stuff packed, get it together. The plane leaves at 10, so we should be done packing by 8. Be able to get there in time, be there an hour in advance, and be ready. Would you then get up at, now you know exactly what you need to do to get on that plane on time to get to New Hampshire where you're trying to get your destination, and you know what it's going to take to get there for this weekend, not next weekend, not on Monday, not on Tuesday? Would you then change what you were doing and say, you know what, let's go to breakfast first? Now we're up, let's take an extra shower. You know what, let's go and get some booty. You know what, let's go and watch a episode of The Simpsons or whatever your favorite. Like, you're not doing that. You're going, no, I can't take in an episode of The Simpsons. No, I don't want no nookie. No, I don't want to freaking go to breakfast. Yes, those are all fun and those are enjoyable things. But I got to get on that plane because that plane's going to land me in New Hampshire. That's the same thing with your destination as far as your dreams goes. When those things are now a detour in time and how long it's going to take to get where you're trying to go, man, you start to think like that. Once you know your destination, you know that plane trip, what time that plane leaves to get where you're trying to go. Everything else, like going and having a beer or hanging out with Timmy, your best friend, and just watching the fight tonight, and then going so-and-so to church or wherever it is you want to go, and whatever it is you happen to do where you found that extra nugget of time to get where you're trying to get, you'll notice. I mean, even buying things. I was just telling Will, I don't buy a lot of things for myself unless they add value to what I'm trying to do. I could go buy some unnecessary shit, but it would eat at me because I know that it does not help me get where I'm trying to go. And so once you have a definite purpose, things will happen like Will, where he's watching his playoffs and then he's pissed off at himself. And it's because he's got a definite purpose now. He knows what it looks like. He knows what the action looks like, with the action that harmonizes with all this belief he's been building up over all this time. He finally realizes the action that will harmonize and add value to that thought and that belief. And so now he knows, okay, I know I have the knowingness. I'm going to make it and do this here, but I know that if I don't do these things that I thought I could do to get there, that it's probably not going to happen, or take longer to. But at any point in time when you finally get your head out of your ass, you're going to have to lock in and sacrifice and not take in the NBA game. Not buy the new pair of Jordans you want, not buy your new shoes, not go spend money to go on a game, not spend money going. You're gonna have to lock in at some point when you finally figure out. Well, eventually you can't say it'll never happen. It's like no, but at some juncture, it's never gonna be lackadaisical, just willy nilly, whatever the hell you want to do. At some point, you're going to have to lock in for a period of time. Remember, consistently, the right things and long enough. The right things long enough, the right things consistent long enough, however the system goes. That's it. That means at some point you're going to have to do the right things consistently and for long enough. At some point you're going to have to come to that juncture, that, understanding that that's what it's going to take. So at some point in time, you're going to have to lock in. It's and that point in time, that show you took in, that extra freaking dinner with your girl, at some point you have to realize you're going to have to say no more than you say yes to those things. You have to say no more than you say yes to those things that are outside your goals, dreams, and beliefs and where you're trying to be. Because you're trying to go there, you're going to have to say no. You're going to have to say, nah, I'm not doing that, I'm not going to do that. It's crazy. But again, NBA distraction, I noticed that, like, I watched something the other night and I was upset with myself. And I was like, I had to watch it. It was good. This show is about, like, I don't even want to tell you what it was. So dumb. It had zero value in my life. But, like, the guy's such a good actor, and he was like upset, and I put myself in his shoes, and the movie character, because he's so good at acting. And then next thing you know, I was watching it, ruined 2 hours of my day, and then those 2 hours threw me off of my momentum and ruined the rest of my day. So not only did those 2 hours take me off of what I was doing, it shifted my gears to where now that just fucking murdered the rest of my night, to the things I wanted to do. It's just it's crazy. You've got to be careful with that. It's distractions. I started thinking, why watch TV during the times you write a plan. Today I'm gonna finish cleaning the bathroom, and then during that same time you allotted from 2 to 3 to clean the bathroom, you scheduled something else in and then wondered why you never get the bathroom clean. 2 to 3, I'm going to do this, and then all of a sudden you go, you know what, I'm going to go out and water the grass real quick, and that takes 45 minutes. You can't. You have to literally go, fuck the grass, I already made the plan to clean the bathroom. And you literally have to stick to the script that tightly that if you don't, you'll find your shit just never coming together the way you plan. Because you can't, no football player goes out there, they got a plan on the football thing. It's like, you're going to take a freaking post out to the right at 15 yards and Tom Brady's going to hit you there, okay? And then, I decided to go left and, like do a freaking, just a slant route. Well, he's like, and I said a post route. You did a slant route. Like, what was, how that this play does not work now. We now do not win the game. If you keep creating audibles every time in this game of life, you won't win the game. Because here's the plays you set for yourself, and then you keep adjusting half between the middle of the game. You're never gonna get there. You literally have to stick to the script, and for long enough. You got to keep doing it, because even sticking to the script and doing the things you need to be doing for a long time, you're not going to see results a lot of times for a very, very, very long time. Because beyond this, there's still the other factors. Are you talented enough? Did your luck fall in place correctly? You know what I mean? Because luck is being prepared for when the opportunity comes, right? That's what luck is. But there's something to be said about an opportunity coming. You can't control the opportunity coming. You can only be prepared for it. You don't know when that opportunity is going to become. We are not smart enough to know that. We don't know when. We only know that we can be as prepared as we can possibly be. We don't know how that's going to come to us. And if you spend your time when you should have been prepared for it doing something else, It's never gonna be. So you got to understand, it could be a long time. So even doing the right things for consistently for long enough, long could be very, very, very long. In my case, it has been very, very long. So if you do the right things, it can still be very long. So imagine not doing the right things and kind of willy nilly fucking around your time and not doing what you said you were going to do and watching the NBA playoffs instead. That long enough is going to be a very long enough time because it's going to be still waiting for you to lock in being consistent, doing the right things for long enough. Because if you weren't consistent, watch that NBA game, it's not consistency. Right? And it breaks the long enough pattern. And it breaks the right things pattern. It's got to be for a long period of time. And like I said, even doing the right things, it's still going to take forever. So imagine not doing the right things and choosing to do other things than the right things. It's going to take maybe forever, literally, and you may pass before that happens for you. Or give up. Most of the time, give up.
Yeah, see, it didn't just, because I had a pattern. I like these little things we was doing with the chopping up these videos here, and I had a pattern to try and get ahead. And I'll tell you what, I broke from that, and it altered my whole week. Now I'm behind. Now I'm struggling, and I didn't get out. I didn't get out the posts I wanted to get out this week because I altered my pattern of what I was trying to go for, and it put me behind for the week. So it's just, so I don't know, man. I just wanted, it was just a big wake up call to me, that there is no time to just go do it. Even though I was going with a purpose, and I did get work done, but that's not the point. The point is I could have gotten more work done.
True. And what's funny is you hold yourself accountable to that amount of progress.
Yeah, man.
You'll literally be like, I expected to have this done by the end of the week, and still be, why didn't I get that done? And you still hold yourself to that same number, and it's true. I did it last week. I'm like, damn, I tonight it was supposed to happen, then tomorrow this was going to happen, but then tomorrow I'm doing the thing I was supposed to do the night before, and it skews your whole week, and then you're down on yourself the whole week. So now you've got to execute at a high level, but you're not very happy with yourself. It's like going to the gym after skipping out on ice cream for the last 2 days, or skipping out and eating ice cream and sitting around watching TV and drinking beers, and then going, man, I worked my ass off. I was going to do legs, but now here I am. I'm going to have to do legs today. That's going to throw off my whole next week. And then you're down on yourself. Now you're in the gym trying to do that extra rep on chests, and you're like, I don't even care anymore, because you're just so mad at yourself that you screwed yourself the last couple of days. So now you got to do it with that. So you got to lock in. And once you get locked in, man, you're just become a machine. But it takes a minute to build that behavior. And you can fall out of it. I fell out of it for a couple of days. And I'm finally back in it. And it feels good because it's kind of like, okay, these things are finally finishing. And now I can move forward. Instead of spinning your wheels on the 2 things you need to get done, those 2 things now will take you a month to do instead of 1 week. And you kind of go like, now I have 1 week's progress done in a month or 2.
There was other things that went on too. Like I had this thing all chopped up. Didn't like how it sounded. The audio was all messed up, and I was spending all this time doing all this audio fixes. Like, why don't I just move on to another section and chop it? And I was just like, oh, so now it even wasted more time chopping up something that I'm not even going to use because I didn't like how the audio sounded. So now it's like, now I'm down. I'm down -2 now, right? So it's like, oh my gosh, it's just, I just wanted to share that, man, because it was a total wake up call to myself of, every freaking minute counts. Every minute counts, especially right now when I got, when I'm, I'm not currently at the luxury of just working from home every day and doing this. Like, you know, 8 of my hours is locked up for stability to be able to do this. So all that I don't have time, even though I mean it was cool. Did get work done, but the time when I could have been at home and done it, what I could have gotten done compared to what I did get done is the difference of, yeah, I got you know, but at the same time too, I'm human, right? So I did what I did. Now, I checked myself, okay? I seen the mistakes on how it messed up my plan of what I really wanted to do, right? Because I really didn't want to do that other than the writing, but I really wanted to do it how I kind of messed up that up by chewing up time chilling, So yeah, it was just a huge wake.
When what makes you feel better?
Huh?
If you would have had those videos done and watched them back, you would have felt you'd have been on a high, way
Yeah.
more of a high than sitting around watching the inner. I noticed that. Like I'm watching the show, the I watched this video the other day, and I'm like, or this movie, and I'm watching it, and I didn't get anything done, so that was that 2 hours plus it ruined my night. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, I got gratification, I got entertainment by it. I need to just relax sometimes. I get it. I'm a little hard on myself. But I didn't get that feeling I would have gotten from finishing what I was trying to do. Say it was mixing a beat, or finishing a beat. The feeling I get from when I finally upload a beat onto my website is like, man, I feel accomplished. I feel good. There's another one, and we're just keep layering them on to where I have 5,000 beats, and people are like, "You're prolific, man. Holy cow!" And it's like, but I didn't get to have that feeling. So now I'm on like a depression mode because I'm like, I watched this show, and yes, I got the entertainment value from it, but nothing feels better than creating something. And and being closer to whatever it is you're feeling, you're
closer. Yes.
yeah, you're close you are to the feeling you want to do. Like Will talks about an exercise of how does whatever it is you want make you feel, because it might not be that thing you want, it might be that feeling you want. That's what you're chasing, right? How does that make me feel? And so you're getting closer to that thing that makes you feel a certain way, feel about yourself and everything. And if you're further from that, from taking in entertainment, like watching the new Little Rascals movie, and that was funny. You giggled a couple times, but now you're one day further or a few hours further from what it is that you are going to do that's going to make you feel the way you want to feel. You're further away, an extra day away from feeling the way you want. So there's another day of not getting to feel the way you want to feel. And so it's tricky. It's like, so I watched this movie, and then it's like, man, had I finished that beat, finished mixing this song, I'm working with an artist, finished mixing that song, I would have felt so much better. Finishing this email, automated email I'm working on, blah blah blah, this marketing stuff, I would have felt more accomplished, and that would have made me feel like today I did do that. I hammered all day. I got up at 5 a.m. I finished all my work, got done by, what was it, 10:30, was done, and I got to crack all day and just knock out little by little by little. And then I was so efficient that when I'm waiting an hour in line for my kids for their school, I get there early so I can get them out of there. And I'm waiting for an hour. I'm watching a video. I'm writing copy. Like for marketing stuff. I'm thinking of the name of this new product I'm gonna sell. I'm working, man, while I'm sitting there. I'm so efficient because I feel so good. I'm working while I'm sitting in the line, getting things done. I write a whole email freaking chain, dude. Get home, write on it, start cracking, keep doing it, get all these files ready, and then down to doing mock-ups for the products, and like all the way to getting on this podcast. And it's like, I feel like $1 million. You know what I mean? And then you think about, like, how would I have felt had I done that a month ago when this was supposed to happen? You know what I mean? Plus all the other shit that should have been done. Like, where would I be now? Like, but I just think about like what I did today, and if I can keep that kind of behavior going for the next, and I know I can. I did it for a whole year. It's like, where will I be? What other opportunities will I be ready for? And so there's something to be said about watching an NBA game instead of doing what you need to be doing. Those NBA championships you can watch on rerun when it makes sense for you on the shitter, when you might be laid up sick a little bit, maybe catch up on that. When you're stuck at the airport, when you're, you know, like, I think of the best times, like when I got to do things, it's like, I can catch that video now because I'm not, what else can I do right now? Like this is the time to catch up on my Facebook, or my social media. Wait till you got to take a crap. Wait till you got to do something where you can't get something done, or you're stuck at, you know, the airport, like I said, like those are the times that catch up on, if you have a goal and you're trying to achieve it. If you don't, I don't know why you're even here, but if you just like the conversation or you think, Will's plants look cool, or his Aerosmith microphone, he's got the bandanas and stuff on it. Reminds me of Aerosmith. Bohemian. So anyway,
Hey, so this is like serious stuff. Like, it's like, how bad do you want it, and what are you willing to give up to get there, man? And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long this one's gonna be, but I just wanted to just kind of, touch on that for people about distraction, because it really it messed my whole week up, man. So
yeah, it can.
to talk about, you know what I mean? Like, as enticing as these things are, I have a plan, and I'm trying to achieve tomorrow, and doing what I did put me off of that plan the entire week. So, and my weeks are from Thursday to Thursday right now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
especially if you have it planned. It's like the football game. Like if you have a plan on how you're going to win the game, and it is to run post routes, because these guys don't, they'll kill you on your running game, and you keep handing the ball off. And when like these things, when you have your agenda written for the week and you don't do it, and that was your game plan to win the week, well, then you lost the week. It's we keep running plays. Like, yeah, but they got your run. Like, you need to be running post routes and shit. That's just the thing is, like, there's a game plan, and when you write the plans, you got your week planned out, and you don't do any of those plans. You plan to win the week, right? You plan to what's the best strategy to, achieve what I'm trying to do this week, and you're doing everything else but your plan, and wonder why you didn't get there. It's you got to follow that.
Doing the right things consistently and long enough. I think this might be 3 podcasts in a row we're talking about this. It's so huge. You know what I mean? But I also learned from it too, man. It's like, okay. As a matter of fact, I learned so much from it. I thought of a new plan for the weeks, and have a topic for the week, and that's what I'm chopping up in the media for the week is the topic, you know what I mean, and killing it, and then next week change it. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Man, do the right things consistently long enough. This is why it's so important to get your hands on that daily takeoff checklist, so you can, learn to define your main game, your next goal, and then lock in your next action steps, your next logical hustles to get there. And that's what you do. And once you get that little game plan, learn to stick to it. And feel good when you stick to it, because it's towards achieving your main game. And then when you are on that path, you'll see when you get off of it, because you're excited about reaching. This is why it's so important to get your hands on this checklist and check it out and start using the tools in this checklist to start advancing your game, man, and learning to define what you want next, and then defining your next action steps to get there, and feel good in those action steps, so good that when you get off, you know it, you feel it, and you're affected by it, because that's how bad you want that next goal, that next main game. You want it so bad, you realize when you start getting off it and like, killed my week. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that again. And that's even more exciting in itself as well. You know, learning from the mistake, seeing it and knowing, you know what? This is what I have to do. This is what I have to do to get to where I'm going to go and build on that. And nothing's gonna keep me from doing that. You know, they can open up whatever they want to open up. I'm sticking to my plan. So it was just, you know, I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? I make mistakes, you know, but this was a winning mistake, because I realized how important my path is. Because if I get off in a little bit, I'm behind a whole week, and I have plans for my weeks now, and what we're doing now. This is growing. This podcast is growing, and what we're doing with the podcast, and you know how we can use parts of this podcast to further the podcast. Oh man, yeah. Huge.
Especially if you're a person who is not trying to waste all your time watching an hour-long podcast because you got shit to do. So these little snippets lean right into what we're telling you now. Is like, it's not a whole NBA playoff, so you got to watch in a podcast. You can literally go, cool, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, half a minute, and I get the actual gist of what's going on. Right on, moving on and getting with my life. There's a time for long form content, and there's a time for short form. You know.
Wait, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this and visit it again. Like, you know, when we start seeing results, when we start reaching our delayed gratification from taking action and no one's tuning in, when we start seeing those results, we'll be able to go back and revisit some of this and be like, man, who knows? The little clips we're doing could advance us quicker and help boost this stuff and have more of a, you know, more of a right to the point effect that has a better effect. And it just goes to show that, man, you know,
it will be faster because it's more content. It's more content. It's mixed up. It's giving you it's not giving you more of the same thing. It's giving you something that's mixed up. It's now opening the market to short form. People that don't have the time to watch a long hour video, they're like, cool. You know, all the other hour videos that are out there available for me, and I don't have time to. I can only have X amount of hours in a day to watch these videos, but 2 minutes, no problem. Or
it's exciting too, because I'm trying to get further in the videos as they start getting better, and the quality starts getting better, the look of it starts getting better. But I'm trying to be a stickler and do it in a row, because that's just how. This is how I am. It's how I want to do it, right? So it's just like I want to get to these other things where the thing looks different. You know, the whole screen, you know. So it's exciting. You know, it's exciting what we're doing. You know, so I can't allow anything to distract me from what I need to do for us to get this, you know, leveled up, man. You know, yeah. Still a great topic.
Yeah, you know, there.
Wake up call.
Yeah, you'll start to see that consistently long enough thing. You know, I run a few businesses right now, but like I run my own main business that I make the most money out of. I was just telling Will before we got on here, like I've been doing it for shit, man. It's been the whole time I was at South Fork Coffee, plus a year off of there, like 4, 5 years, 6 years, no, not 6 years, more like 5 years. I've been doing this. Yeah, because Jordy's still a baby. So 5 years, 5.5 years of this business I've been doing, and
Yeah.
had it not yield the results, it yielded something. I mean, I definitely had a different first year because I was lucky enough to have Molly and her guy at the time, school me to the game on it. Like so I got to jump ahead real quick and be in it. But the point is, wasn't enough to be what I thought it was gonna be. But I just kept with it. I had to go back to work after like a year and a half off doing that business. I had to end up swallowing my pride. After my wife said, you shouldn't have ever quit that big boss job you had. And swallow my pride, go back to work for less money, and keep doing that. And then a hybrid of that other business. I kept doing the business, but I kept doing that consistently and long enough, the right thing. And then COVID happened. I got let go from that job because that company went under. And I was getting too comfortable there because it was too easy of a job. I was done with that shit by 10 o'clock every day. The boss is like, how am I paying you all this money? I'm like, the last guy took till 6 p.m. It ain't my fault I'm fast. Or it is my fault I'm fast. But anyhow, but I go back and then, I make these tweaks, and trust me, it was not easy. There were points when I was freaking out. In fact, they're on the podcast, early podcast, where I'm talking about being like, man, I'm stressed out. Like, it's like real easy to talk all this feel good, feel better now shit when you're going through some financial stuff and you start to trip out. Like, man, they shut down all my accounts. I can't even run this thing right now. Like, what am I going to do? To keep it going through all that consistently and long enough. And I looked at it the other day and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna tell you the number I was making, but it's like $30,000 more than what I was making in my last job I got let go from. Top line dollars, of course, take out taxes and all this other shit. Bottom line is, it's way more money than what I was making because you took taxes out of the other money I was making for the other job. But you go, that's a raise from the first job I quit 5.5 years ago. That's a raise from anything I've ever done before. And it's such a raise that it gives me such an amount of time back that I have 3 or 4 other little businesses running on top of that, including this podcast. That will yield another stream of income at some point when we get monetized with YouTube and get our affiliate stuff going and some products of value for everybody going. It's just a natural thing. We do this because we love it first and foremost, but at some point when you add enough value, you get money comes, so my point is, like, not only is it the 30,000 more, but it may be 1 million or 10 million more, or maybe more than that, or it will be way more than that, because now I'm free to just keep doing my shit, but my bills are covered in a shorter amount of time with my time back. So, like, but I finally got to see those results, and those are only a couple of days, or yesterday, that I noticed the numbers were up and doing well and consistently, and it's not hard to do. Figured out how to do it, and it's like, you will, and you'll see it with this podcast, and you'll see that build. But that's something with sticking with something long enough and tweaking, and everybody else is looking at you like, dude, just go get a regular freaking job. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? And it's like, you have bought into the ceiling that is your job. This job will pay me $67,000 a year. This job will pay me $59,000, $23,000, whatever the hell you guys make a year. And I know the ceiling of it. But it's safe and easy to do, and I just know it's gonna be there. And I say no, but at the same time, when I'm telling people like my wife and stuff like that, it's like, trust me, this is gonna work. This is gonna be better. It's like, well, with what proof? You have no proof. It has to just be this knowingness of that it's gonna happen. And then now to see it happen and really go, see, I told you so. There's an extra $30,000 in our bank every freaking year, like. And I still have time to, I watch my kids as the main person who is there to watch and take care of my children. Not my wife. She gets to go do her little business that she's working on growing and getting big, but doesn't have to worry about paying the bills. You know, I get to pay the bills, plus watch the kids, take care of all that stuff, do my music stuff, do my podcast, do my marketing stuff, do all these other aspects of what I do. And it's like where I would not have been able to do that the other way. I'd have had all my hours taken and I'd have got paid probably $30,000 less. You know, or if I took on what I get paid now for myself as a job, it would be high stress. High stress. And my business I do now is multiple streams of income. And so I can't just have one shut down. They both go, and one will float me for a certain amount of time. So it's like I knew it would work, and I just saw it happen yesterday. So it's the same sense when we talk about doing something long enough, and I had to stay focused. I couldn't do other things. I have friends complaining that I'm not helping them, and I'm just sitting there shipping products. It's like, yeah, because I got to do something consistent and long enough. I'm not going to sit there and not do it to appease you and your time. And so you have to sacrifice. And unfortunately, that ruins a friendship for all I know, you know. But consistently and long enough, you know what I mean? And you just keep doing that long enough. And the bottom line is, that's what's up, you know, like you will see the results. You keep doing it. And I did. It took 5.5 years of hammering that and never letting it go. In fact, never letting it go while I had this other job. I would haul ass and do that job so I'd have enough time to do this other job that I had to kind of stop doing a little bit to get this other job. Once I got that job going, figured out how to haul ass and do it, and then do both jobs, the old job, and then now that's my job that I do full time now, working for myself. But I had to do it for 5.5 years. And a lot of people have said, fuck it, once they had to get that other job, and said, I guess that didn't work. I said, no, I know it's going to work. I know it's going to work. You know, I have this other job, but I'm going to keep doing this. And lo and behold, that floated me through the whole COVID thing, and now it's thriving. Because I stuck with it, and I never gave up. Well, my wife looks at me like, dude, what are you doing? You know? Jim Bob has a job over here. He's going to get a pension. And no knock to your pension. But there's a ceiling to that. I know exactly what I'm going to get, and that's all I'm ever going to get. I now know that this is what my life is going to amount to from a financial standpoint. This is what I will be from a financial. Me, I chose not to have a ceiling to my job. If I want to work harder and work as long as everyone else, I can make twice the money. If I want to hammer harder, I can make 3 times the money. Because I don't have a ceiling. There is no, hey, we've agreed to pay you this much, and we don't give a fuck how hard you work. This is how much you're getting paid. That's it. That's all you're going to get. You can be the best employee in the business. That's all you're going to get paid. And that's what your life is, and that's what you get. I say no ceiling. And I'm not. I'm getting a great amount of money from here, but I also am doing these other things that will eventually generate 10 times that. And now it's allowing me to do that. And it makes it easier while this is thriving to go for these other things, because this is kicking ass. Like if I went to get a job, because my resume kind of would be more like 150, 200,000 a year kind of jobs, right? So by having that resume, my wife is like, dude, you better be making that kind of money. And so it's kind of cool to have this eBay thing kind of getting up there, right? And give me my time and still be able to watch my kids and still be able to be around in their life. But it took 5.5 years of what some would consider failure. This didn't work out the way you said it was going to work out. It's like, no, it didn't. Right now, if you want to snapshot the win in a year or the win in 2 years.
Right now it didn't. But now it is.
Right. You know, and you locked it. You said, oh, and then you locked in a job that you get to forego the next 30, 40 years of your life because you get to see that first 2 years of greatness. If I would have went back to that old job I quit to do this, I'd still be making $30,000 less, and I would have been probably had a heart attack because it was stressful. Stupid ass corporate bullshit. You know, just dumb bosses they put in place. Highly effective and efficient people, but not people. They don't care about people. They want everybody to run like a machine. So the bottom line is, now here I am. And like I said, as of yesterday, I was like, okay, I'm good. And if I didn't have all this other stuff I'm trying to do, podcasts, marketing stuff, all these other things to layer it on, I could double that money for sure. I could double up, hammer down, let's go crazy, and make way more than I would, 3 times the amount I was making before I got, let go, or the company went over, whatever you want to call it, laid off, whatever. 3 times that amount, working for myself. But I want to make 5,000 times that amount by running my marketing stuff and having all these automated businesses, streaming music, doing all these other things. But again, 5.5 years. So that's the same thing. Same thing. We'll show you results on this, but I could talk results right now. You know what I mean? That's like, those are results. Those are results from me sticking to the script and saying this is what's going to happen. And I love it. I did my board, and it said, hold up. It says, this is old, written years ago. I still have this old board. I wrote all these numbers down that I thought was a funny ass number to write. And it says 100,000 annually in passive income. 100 YouTube channels. That's kind of extreme. By 2019, that didn't happen. But we're working. I've got probably 4 now. But yeah, 100,000 in eBay sales. Doing that, it's kind of crazy to look at all these little things that were old. But I remember thinking a year ago that those were failures, because they didn't happen in this window of time. But then you fast forward to now, and I start checking off these things off the board. And all these things that I had this arbitrary number of time limit, thinking in the micro instead of the macro. And I had this thing, and if I didn't hit it by then, I was like, man, I suck. Like, I didn't achieve this. I might as well give up on. But I kind of look back now, and I go, oh, well, I've achieved that. And I'm just like checking shit off the board going, oh, this is tight. I did all this stuff. And I start 30 YouTube videos. Oh, I did do that. Oh, 2 videos of this and 20 pack of this. Oh, I did that. And I'm starting to go through that board that I used to look at that board and stop looking at it because I thought, what a failure. I didn't achieve any of that shit. And now I look at it and I go, damn, there's a bunch of stuff to check off that actually happened. So just consistently and long enough, you know what I mean? The right things consistently long enough. And like I said, I'm seeing some success in one of my ventures, which is the main one, which is good because that's the stress relieving one. And the others are, trying to put that cherry on top, whipped cream, and let's get it, whipped cream, nuts, and cherries. I'm trying to add to that shit. Okay, you got the main thing, you're going to eat, but I want to add all this extra. Yeah, there's something to be said about that. But, if you quit, again, my biggest skill is that I haven't quit, that I've never thrown in the towel. That's the biggest skill set I have, is that I don't give up. Because I'm pretty much mediocre at everything else. But the best thing I'm good at is not giving up. Perseverance. And just not quitting. Because if you don't quit, if I would have quit a year ago, I would have thought I failed at that. But I stuck it out long enough to now it's like, damn, that shit is eye-opening and so substantial from financial ways that I go, okay, this is crazy. Had I given up a year ago and said, this isn't going to work, I just need to hurry up and go find a regular job, I would have been making less money. I had had less time with my kids, less time with my wife, and I would have been stressed the fuck out. but because I stuck it out one more year. So you could be 3 feet from gold. Turn around, leave, sell your mine to someone else. They buy it, dig 3 feet, and they're rich. And it looks like they're overnight fucking successes, you know. And you've been digging that mine for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I don't want to bore you guys with my story, but again, 5.5 years I could have quit at any point in that time. And I never did. And now it's feels pretty freaking good. Because, I mean, you come to my house, the bills are fucking stacked. I mean, as far as how much I pay every month. And to be able to pay them, I'm going to be like, okay, that's pretty cool. And still have cash to do whatever. I mean, you look at my studio, you look at all this. It's like, it's crazy. You know, it's pretty wild. I have extra rooms. I have a fucking massive garage, 3-car garage. I'm not trying to flex at all, but I'm just saying, 3-car garage that just to house my extra unnecessary shit that I should sell. I got 2 extra rooms in the house just to fucking hold my music equipment. This isn't where kids have to stay. This isn't for functional stuff as far as like, I pay a lot of money just to be able to have this stuff in my house. And then I got people that just want to fucking use me for my time and efforts and my rooms and assume that I don't need to fucking hit me off with any bread. It's kind of funny. But that's the concept. It's like, just to have this, they're like, well, you're not buying any more equipment. It's like, yeah, but I pay probably an extra freaking $1,000 a month just to have a fucking place for this to be, place for you to sit and be in every month, motherfuckers, you know? So, clearly I've had a couple beers, but anyway, but that's the truth, you know, that's the honest truth. Every month, just to have this stuff. So to be able to do that, I probably wouldn't have been able to do that working for any of the other companies I've worked before. Sticking with something long enough, it's finally showing its fruit. So you got to stick it out. You know what I mean? And it's easier said than done. And like I said, I had nights where I didn't sleep, plenty of nights, stressing out, like, how the fuck is this gonna work? Oh my god, I don't even know, you know, tripping out. And then one day I was like, you know what? You can always just go get a regular job. You can always go jump in that box. You know, be in the box. You could do that. That's there for you. Anytime you want to go work for some other person, someone's going to hire you. Somebody wants to pay you less money to help them achieve their dream. You know, somebody wants to. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Don't be scared. I'm not scared of if I can get a job or not. I'm fucking smart as fuck. I'll get a job wherever the fuck I want to get a job. But I don't want to get a job because I'm smart as fuck. So the bottom line is, you know, that's not being cocky. I mean, that's I know it. I'm not going to do that, you know. Believe in yourself. If you think I'm cocky and you don't think that about yourself, good luck achieving something great. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be able to say on live streaming, whatever it is, that you're smart as fuck and talk about yourself like that. You have to be able to do that, knowing it's being recorded. Like, look at this cocky, self-absorbed, but, well, you need to have a little bit of that in you. If you're going to do or achieve anything, you better have some of that. I'm going to fly. I know it. If I jump off this house, I think I flap my arms hard enough, I'm flying. If you don't have that, it's going to be tough. You know? So, simply enough, stick with it. 5.5 years, if I would have quit a month ago, I would have never known. You know what I mean? I would have never known. And I wanted to quit a month ago, just a heads up. I wanted to. I was like, damn, man, I just don't know. I just don't know. Seeing the numbers today, I was like, or yesterday, I was like, oh shit. Okay. You ain't gonna be able to fucking stop me now. Anyway, enough about that.
There's a whole lot of gems for you, but people pay attention on that one.
Write that down. Anyway.
There's always somebody that will pay you to chase their dream. Dude, if that ain't the sentence, then I don't know what it is. But like, man, it's easier. It's easier to go get a job and work for someone else, man. But you know, is that what you want out of life, or do you want to do bigger? Excuse me, bigger things for yourself.
Right.
You know, you can go get that job, but are you gonna be happy with the results of just doing what everyone else is doing?
Yeah, there's a trade-off for that comfort and that security, even though it's not even really secure because you can lose your job
You
at
have
any
to
time.
work harder, you know, but it should be more enjoyable at least most of the time. You know, but you just got it. But it's not easy, that mindset of not knowing when you're gonna get paid next and how long it's gonna take. That's the process. But you're, man, it's still better than being a robot and working for someone else and someone else telling you when to come to work, when to go to lunch, when to go home today, when to go home, and when to come back the next day. Oh, and by the way, you got to put in some time to go on vacation. Wait, you got to ask somebody to go on vacation? You'd rather ask somebody to go on vacation?
Yeah, and this last year I've taken probably 5, 6 vacations. I've never, I've never had, I just like go to California 2, 3 times. Like go to Wenatchee. I probably went 3 or 4 times. You know, like just like where am I? What do I want to do? Just like I was
Yeah.
just about to go to Mexico, but my wife's like, we got all these other places to be, but like it's like that consistent. You know, it's you choose, you choose what you want to do. And yeah, I am talking that shit right now, but at one point I was very, very like, oh my god, oh my god. But I stuck with it. And that's going to be uncomfortable. If it's comfortable, then everybody's going to do that. I know that most people, including myself, wouldn't make it, and I barely did. Barely did. With the pressures of your wife saying, honey, so and so's making this money and get a bonus, and you're like, oh fuck, man, you know, like, and you're kind of like, just hold off long enough, and you gotta hold it. You got other people involved, you got kids, but you just know, right? You just know, but you don't have any fucking proof. You don't have
Yeah.
any other proof other than just saying, but I know it. Trust me, honey, I know this is the right thing. They're like, man, you eat eat shit and go get a job. You know,
It's it's a lonely
that's
place to
that's
be in.
it's fucking way lonely, way lonely.
It is a lonely place to go where you're trying to go on your own, man.
Oh my god.
Nobody's gonna understand.
I was just telling Will that today. Like, I've been working all day. I hurried up and I get up at 5 a.m. to get all my as much work as I can done, so I have enough time to have a bunch of the stuff done that I need to get done to do what I'm trying to do. And I'm thinking my wife's gonna come home and be like, "You've been on your computer all day. Like, what have you been doing?" And I'm thinking, "Well, you've been at work making your pennies, and now you get here. You're gonna watch your favorite TV show, drink a glass of wine, and go to bed." I had just sent out a potential $100,000 in 3 day email with my product and marketing. That's what I have done today. I built the frickin' product. I built out the frickin' filing system, the funnel, all the stuff, the emails. I built that whole system today. Now ask me again, what have I done today? I've just potentially made $100,000 in 3 days. So don't fucking tell me, you know, whatever. But it's lonely because she'll never wrap her head around it because it's just, I know that this can make that much money potentially, right? In her head, it's like that's not tried and true. So here you are having these things, and it's a lonely place because I don't have any friends that know what I'm talking about. Those numbers seem crazy to them. Like, what? Well, no way. What? Like, and they don't even want to know. They don't like it's just that's how it is, you know. And it's like same thing with the eBay thing. I've walked so many people to that, like, look, man, you could make fucking 200 grand a year on this, and they're like, oh, yo, yeah, yeah, and then they just go back to their $15 an hour job. Like you're kind of going like, well, I just showed you how to make way more money than that. I can only imagine if I had normal bills and I didn't have like the bills I have now. I would be caking out of control. I've got wife, kids, like I said, extra rooms for equipment and cars and bullshit. If I didn't have that and I just paid like a regular person's, mortgage and shit like that, like I would have fucking mad money. Like it's just from like working for myself, But it's there's something to be said. It's such a lonely place because it's gonna work and it doesn't. Nobody else understands. Even the shit I talk about, nobody understands the marketing thing or like the potential of where that goes, But that's that. That's that. Stick with it long enough, My marketing thing isn't doing shit for numbers right now, and so I think that'll be a great thing to kind of give follow up on. Like just stick with it, layer it up, Yeah, for the first year it didn't, but what is 3 years of consistently doing it for 3 years? The right things consistently and for long enough. What does that look like? You have to. I think what's a helpful hint is you'll see it on Gary Vee. He's like, start looking at the macro and not the micro. When you look at your time frames to achieve these things in a small spurt of time, stop doing that. Look at it in the macro. He talks about kids that if you're anywhere between 19 and 30, you should be taking massive risks. Because you can afford to eat shit, lose everything, and still have enough time by your time you're 40 to build up and do regular shit and get back on your feet. So why aren't you going ape shit wild with the risk at 21, 22, 23? Go nuts. Try something crazy. Do the wrong shit. Because you have more than enough time to wrap your shit together and get your life back on a normal track, whatever you think. Like just getting a regular job and doing whatever. And still building a career at some Boeing or the Union Pacific Railroad, getting your pension or whatever it is you're trying to do. But, you can go crazy and afford to have a couple failures, big failures, and still pull your head out of your ass and make it happen if it doesn't work. But anyway, that's that. So let us know if you guys like this. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for the next time we're going up. Typically right around 8, looking like 8:30 mostly nowadays, that we kind of chop it up a little bit before we get on. But
a little bit before we start, so I should start saying 8:30.
Yeah, 8:30 it is. Although I don't want to say 8:30 because I don't want us to push ourselves later. I like the fact that we're like, we got to get on at 8. So
as long as we're on by 8, we could use, which we always are.
Yeah.
But we don't start recording until like sometimes damn around 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Till we get coordinated as to what we're trying to talk about. We don't want to just get on and start chopping it up at random crap and then the value be missed. We want to kind of go.
We gotta talk and we gotta submerge our energies and
get on the
same page and then deliver.
Yeah, I've seen us get on. It was me and you and Berto get on, and it's just like none of us are on the same page, but we're trying to get on right off the bat. And it's just so negative and just all over the map as far as energies, firing at the wrong time. Whereas if we got to chop it up for a while, kind of get, gelling a little bit, then get on. And that's kind of what we do. So we get on a little bit late after that. But all right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Frequency Control Show.
Check our Instagrams and that daily takeoff checklist.
At Frequency Control Show on Instagram. A lot of good stuff on there now. Or check me out. The Real S&D Bates. The _real _S&D BEATS.
Click that link and download that daily takeoff checklist and start vibrating your days, man.
Get your days set up. Get them on the right track.
For free, man. What have you got to lose to download it and read it one time.
Except for that virus he's going to load onto your computer.
And it'll change. Change. Telling you, man, you read it, you will feel different.
Yeah.
That's my challenge. I challenge you to read it and comment and say I didn't feel different after writing.